exciting Ultimate, but there will be prizes. We have shirts and signed discs, and the opportunity to sit on the sideline with the Rainmakers. At halftime, we'll have the ever-popular disc accuracy contest, also known as Disc Chaos, and a chance to win $500. Make sure to pick up your mini disc at the gate. Today's game is brought to you by the national sponsors of Major League Ultimate, 5 Ultimate, the official uniforms and gear of Major League Ultimate, Innova Discs, the official disc of MLU, live streaming provided by Elemental Technologies, Waveform, the official sunglasses of MLU, photography courtesy of Ultiphotos, and Friction Gloves, the official gloves of Major League Ultimate. And now, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your Seattle Rainmakers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. The Seattle Rainmakers taking in the national anthem here, getting ready for their matchup here at home in Renton Memorial Stadium against the visiting Portland Stags. Third game this season between the two teams. Seattle having gotten the better of the matchup. Portland looking to sting the Seattle Rainmakers here at home today. Seattle clinched their spot in the West last week, setting up what looks to be an inevitable San Francisco-Seattle conference finals on June 29th. Seattle will take on the Dogfish. Seattle does, however, have some chemistry issues to face over these next few weeks, working in Eric Dosberg and Matthew Rader, who have been out thus far this season. Here you see the Stags taking in their national pride and the referees preparing for game time. A sunny, light breezy day here in Renton, just south of Seattle, at the Rainmakers' new home stadium. Teams getting pumped here to take to the field as the crowd files in. Stags here against the Seattle Rainmakers.
Seattle captain Adam Holt and Portland captain Cody Bjorklund are coming on for the coin flip.
Western Conference standings, Seattle Rainmakers currently in front with a 5-1 record. San Francisco Dogfish, 4-1. The Nighthawks from Vancouver, 2-5. And the Portland Stags here today trying to prove something, 1-5 in the league. Hoping to prove that their victory versus the Dogfish wasn't a fluke and they've got what it takes to rumble in the Western Conference of this Major League Ultimate on the West Coast.
It is, in fact,
At stake for Seattle, tuning up for the conference finals. 2 of the 4 games they have left are against San Francisco. They got to work on their offensive chemistry, scheme defensively for San Francisco. This will be only one of 2 opportunities to do so without showing their full hand to the Dogfish, what they're going to bring offensively and defensively. Portland is still hanging on by a thread for a chance at the playoffs. They need to win out in their next 4 games or win 3 of 4. Keys to the game for Portland. Decoy Timmy Person, huge goal scorer across the league on the Portland team. And they need to show him and work the disc through other folks and also shut down the small ball of Seattle. Seattle winning lots of games with very few hucks, lots of short passes, working it up the field. Portland needs to disrupt that, force some hucks, and get Seattle out of their normal rhythm. Seattle keys to the game, smother Person. Timmy Person scoring all kinds of goals against all kinds of teams. Seattle needs to figure out how to shut him down. And Seattle also needs to work in their big man and deep threat, Matt Rader, who's been at college and now rejoins the Seattle roster after playing only the first game of the season. Seattle sideline getting ready with the fans there behind them. This is Dave Bestock here announcing today, and I'll be announcing with my best friend Dave Bestock as Jake Cooper is away this weekend. There you see Portland on the line, getting ready. A nice sunny day here, a light breeze. We've seen a fair amount of windy games. The flag is kind of flip-flopping around here. Not a lot of wind, not going any one particular direction. We will see if it's a factor in today's game. There you see the flag luffing lightly, honored recently with the national anthem here. Renton, of course, the Memorial Stadium here, adjacent to one of Boeing's many local airports. And here we are, ready for action. The crowd is cheering for their Seattle Rainmakers. Offensive line there, you see, getting ready to receive the pull. And here we go, we're underway. Pull goes up. Again, wind not a factor. Coming in right in their end zone, O'Brien brings it up to Simon. In the middle of the field, it's a side vertical stack. Moses Rifkin getting open in the lane. Not hit. Murray wide open. And there's a call on the field. Rifkin shaking his defender there to get out in the lane. Throw didn't come. Murray uses that opportunity to fill the under lane there. Guarded by Khalif El Salam, product of Seattle Youth Ultimate Scene. And it looks like potentially their receiver travel. Up to Rifkin now open. Burton streaks deep. 2 defenders go. There's Rader. Comes in firing. Throws up a big hammer to an open Burton. Defender tries to get there. Burton, huge grab. Hangs on. Seattle Rainmakers 1. Portland Stags 0. Mark Burton continuing his offensive spree for Seattle. He's been huge for the Rainmakers on offense. Matt Rader coming in from several weeks away, catches it out in the lane, lofts up a huge hammer across field for the goal. And Seattle takes the lead by 1. Adam Holt clowning Matt Rader and celebrating that hammer. And Rader gets some congrats on the sideline there. From fans, from teammates, from coaches. And some playful shoves. Here's the replay. Big hammer goes up. Burton tracks it. Portland Stags defender tries to get there. And that's Deloy. Not quite getting there for Burton. Burton leaves him hurting. Matty Zemmel, big lofty pull up there. Seattle jogs down under the pole. Portland will take it. Whoa, bobbled pull there. Friedman centering the offense over to Strout. Up there to Meyer. Meyer in the center of the field. Back to Friedman. Friedman looking down line. Big throw up from Friedman. That's Bjorklund. Cody Bjorklund catching it and delivering it to Johnson for an easy goal from Portland. A nice shot up the forehand sideline. Easy goal, Portland, 1-1. Here you see Eli Friedman on both sides of the disc. He's excellent. There goes a big flick. Cody Bjorklund easily catches it. A nice, easy backhand to Johnson as Seattle defenders scramble to catch up. Can't get there. Gola, Portland Stags. Portland talking about their defense, seeing if they might be able to stop that Seattle small ball. Laurie getting set to pull, checking in with the referee. Seattle has done an excellent job of capitalizing on their handler offense throughout the season, moving it with short passes, trying to get those passes moving before that 7-second stall count is called. There's the pull, and Portland D off and running. Karlinski receives the pull, centers to O'Brien. It's a horizontal stack now. Adam Holt streaking across. Nice to have him receiving it as a cutter, one of the handler stalwarts for Seattle. Up to Sefton on the line. Smartly takes the dump, looking to swing. O'Brien cuts across. Karlinski holding it, needs to move it. There's Holt. Up to Rifkin, across the middle. Stack's gotten a little bit out of formation, kind of heavy on the handlers. Finds the swing to Holt. Holt with that sharp lefty flick over to Matt Rader. Holsters the hammer this time, centers it to Sefton. Sefton surveying the field. He's in a good position here in the middle of the field, but needs to move it. Mario dances, finds an opening, back to Sefton. Burton's open but wandering downfield. Moses Rifkin finds it on the sideline. And they need to get into their end zone offense here. Over to Karlinski, over to Holt. That's nice. Burton wide open, puts his finger out there. Holt puts it a little bit out in front. Mark Burton, big grab for the goal. Seattle up 2-1. Mark Burton, double goal so far here today, padding his own stat sheet and getting some slappy fives from his teammates. And that was just solid offense by Seattle, swinging the disc as they approach the end zone, not looking down the tunnel there, trying to force something. Here you see Rifkin swings it over to Karlinski. Easy swing to Holt. Mark Burton says, put it out there for me. Holt says, you got to earn it. Burton, boom. Grab, and he'll have some rubber pellets from the turf to take home as a souvenir, as well as a goal on his stat sheet and on the scoreboard with 8 minutes left in the first period here. Seattle getting ready to try out one of their defenses on the Stags here. Tyler Kinley set to pull, number 21. That's a good number. There's Kinley with a big roller backhand pull. Doesn't look like it'll catch too much roll, but it does enough to get out of bounds. Let's see what Seattle sets up here as Friedman brings in the disc on the sideline. Traditionally, we would see Seattle with a double team here. Harkness sort of half double team. Disc moves up. Looks like Gussin. Thornton looks to move it again all the way across the field to Bjorklund. And he can't get there. That's out of bounds. Trying to make that 40-yard swing. That's a tough pass. Seattle winning the disc on D fairly easily there. See if they can capitalize. Swing goes to Harkness. Harkness over to Barich. No continue on the flick side. Back to Harkness. Harkness, inside out flick over to Kinley. Kinley on the sideline. Sears streaks up, doesn't find him. Over to Koss. Spidell streaks across. Now this is Seattle's defensive team working the offense, so it won't be as clean looking as we're used to seeing. There's Koss finding Clark for an easy goal. Seattle, first break of the game, takes the lead 3-1. And that was nice patience by Seattle's defensive offense as they gained the disc, some messiness with the cutting. They hung on and kept it moving. And Portland not really disrupting many of those lanes, not able to get there and stop. A nice swing continue, Koss finding Clark, also with a nice stat sheet this year for the goal. Seattle break, 3-1 Seattle. No rain yet, but the clouds are forming over the Portland Stags. Stags need to strike here, keep themselves in this game. Seattle done a great job this year of getting out in front early. They've struggled in a couple games with letting teams back in late in the game. Really been taking the words of Coach Wiggins and assistant coach Loveseth to Hart trying to finish the game strong. But we're only 3 minutes in here, 7:05 remaining in the first. Friedman takes the disc for Portland. Trotter on the mark. Swings it over to Strout. Back to Strout, diving Seattle defender. Some scrambling defense here, disrupting. That's a 10-yard dump. Moves it over there. Looks like Root. Big flick goes up. Trotter trying to catch him. Doesn't get there. Friedman gets up, double-handed grab. Looks like he maybe got hurt on the landing with Trotter there under him. Friedman walking off the field. Big flick goes up. Friedman open. Trotter chasing. Friedman able to bring that in easily, but gets a little tied up with Trotter there. Able to hang on. And now Friedman jogging off the field. And Portland will bring a sub in. And they'll be looking to strike here in the end zone. Seattle opting to bring in, looks like Sefton and Spidell for Trotter and Harkness on Portland's substitution, as Strout will step up 2 yards out of the end zone. See what Portland can do here. There's the immediate double team from Seattle and a little blade to Root for an easy goal. Portland 2, Seattle Rainmakers 3. And the defensive team comes on for Portland as Minershagen steps there with the disc ready to pull.
A quick explanation. These are the mini discs that you'll be throwing at the raindrop for Frisbee Chaos. They have raffle tickets on the back.
The immediate double team comes on Strout, but they miss finding someone to guard Root. There's Dustberg coming in, not having played a lot here with Seattle so far. Sorry, that's Minershagen with the goal. Wide open in the end zone for Portland. That double team, a nice stunt on the end zone there. Doesn't pay off this time for Seattle. Seattle brings that double team a lot to teams on the sideline and trying it there on the end zone, but not picking up everyone there. And that might have been a miscommunication with Eric Dustberg, the Dutchman, joining the team late in the season. O'Brien centers to Holt here as we get underway. 6:17 left in the first. Over to Simon. Matt Rader dancing in the lane. There's some contact there in the lane. Interference. Looks like offensive penalty. Simon will take 10 yards back, check the disc back in. Finds Rader across the middle. Easy flip over to Murray. Murray, a nice buttery forehand out to Burton. Get him off the stat sheet. Mark Burton leaves El Salam behind him and gets another goal for Seattle. That was a little too easy for Seattle, especially with Burton out there scoring those goals. If you're guarding him at this point, you got to push him under. That's his bread and butter. Bread and butter Burton. There he is taking off. A nice easy flick out there. Just sits there. Really nice throw. Burton doesn't have to get dirty this time. Gets the goal and gets some high fives from the fellas. Here's Zemmel getting set to pull for Seattle. Seattle defense been very effective this year, mixing up traditional man-to-man with some stunts, some zones, and the double teams. There's the pull. Big pull. They'll catch it right outside Portland end zone. Centers it to Strout. Strout finds Meyer. Over to the sideline, then into Bjorklund, throwing some hammer fakes. Let him throw that one, I say. Strout swings it over. There's Bjorklund. Open cutter in the middle of the field with King. They look him off, but now King has it. Finds Johnson in the middle. Johnson over to Strout. Big throw goes up to big man, number 19 there. Crowd forms. Harkness gets in there, grabs the disc. basically an offensive strip on the defender there. Seattle gains possession and is underway here. Kinley moving it over there to Bryson Fox, to Clark. Kinley in the middle of the field. Clark goes deep, wants it, doesn't go. Kinley's looking just to move it. There's Zemmel. Seattle needs to find their stack. Zemmel, nice break over there to Bryson Fox. Finds Clark in the middle. This is the small ball that Portland needs to put a stop to. They need to get their hands and their bodies out in these lanes. These are all easy shots for Seattle as Reed Koss sends one up to Danny Clark, who brings it down over Johnson. Clark, a hero in the air for Seattle this year, bringing in some big ones. As Johnson wanders off with his head down. Clark getting the best of him there. A bit of a floaty throw there, but Clark, great position there, able to reel it in without too much trouble. Big throw goes up to a crowd. Harkness says, I'm the big man here, gets the strip. Then on the offensive end, Koss lets go a big floaty backhand out into space. Johnson chasing. Clark had a read on it the whole time. Gets up easily. Out in front. Danny Clark, gotcha, for the goal for Seattle. 5-2 Seattle with 4:30 block a point. Let's see if he can come up with something on D right now. There's Zemmel. Big cross-field backhand pull. And Dustberg, the first down. The long-armed Dutchman coming at you on the mark. And Portland a little bit stifled here under their first throw. There's Friedman with it. A nice sweeping flick out to Minershagen. Open downfield. Again, some of Seattle's defensive leave guys open. There's El Salam with the disc, surveying a offense catching up and a messy D out there. Good swing movement from Portland. Friedman moves it up to Norden. Norden cannot find his intended receiver of Friedman there. Got a little messy at the end zone line. Portland cannot afford that. The end zone is the time to cherish the disc that you love. Harkness brings it in for Seattle. Dustberg streaks deep. There's Zemmel and a call on the field. A timeout. Teams will huddle and strategize and probably sub out their rosters here as the offensive team for Seattle comes in for Seattle's D team, which did earn that disc back after the errant throw. And the crowd excited about the game and also the free Rainmakers swag. Get your gear for your favorite team at shop.mluultimate.com. And by MLU Ultimate, I just mean MLUltimate.com. There's a discount game day 15% off. MLU shop discount, check it out. Get your team swag now. I know I will. Stags huddling up. Getting their defensive squad out here to battle Seattle's subbed-in O team. Here's the last point there. Portland moving the disc very well with the swings. Seattle's junky defense catching up there. Friedman finds Norden, takes off up line. Norden looks to strike, and I'm not sure if he was going for King or Friedman there, but neither was able to get there, and that throw sailed out the back. And now Seattle's offense will start it off with Simon at the line. And it's sort of a side stack here. Adam Holt given some space in front to work. Murray steps out into the lane, dancing around, gets an opening on the break side, then comes back across to the flick side. Gets it and goes. There's Matt Rader. Bobbling it, but finding it. Minershagen disrupting that play. And then Salam with a huge block on Burton, finally putting a stop to Mark Burton, getting in the way of Rader's throw. Huge D by Khalif El Salam. Nice timing for them right outside the goal line. Burton, you know, is fired up and wants the same piece coming here. That's a good matchup going. Norden brings it in. can't get it off the line. The handler movement a little tricky. Lofts up a flick. Looks like Rifkin's there. A lot of traffic there. Oh, almost gets the rebound there, but can't hang on. Cole reading it the whole time as guys got tied up. Cole grabs it in his hands but can't hang on as he tumbles to the ground. Seattle disc again as this back and forth point continues. Simon lofts a big flick up to Murray. Khalif Elslam coming across the back. Some contact there, but I don't think they're going to call that. Murray stifled by the double teaming defense, and that throw just had a little too much float on it for Murray to be able to reel that in. Elslam gets the feed from Shaw. Call on the field, and another timeout call. This point, important to both teams here. It's a lot of back and forth. Both teams wanting to come away with this for a little shift of momentum either way. Whoever ends up getting out of here with the goal. And a couple turnovers on the end zone lines. Here's Rader bobbling it, bringing it in. Miners-Hagen, good disruption of the play. Rader tries to put an easy one into Burton. Salam says, that's not easy. This is easy. Getting dirty, getting the disc, stealing Mark Burton's fourth goal. And now Portland will try to march it up once again as this point back and forth continues. The breeze still very mellow. The crowd less so here in Renton Memorial Stadium. Nice weather out here for Ultimate. Soft, sunny day with some partly cloudy skies, keeping the sun out of the players' eyes, but a nice warm day for the fans. 2:12 remaining in the first period. Seattle leads 5-2. Hancock set to bring it in. A deep vertical stack from Portland. You see Laurie standing by on the sideline. Salam in the front of the stack. Gets open on the break side. Does not get hit. Tightly guarded by Seattle. A good man-to-man defense there from Seattle. Laurie finds it. Swings it over. Miners-Hagen. Upfield to Shaw. And some sort of brain misfire there from Shaw. Looking at the dump, looking at the front of the stack, and turfing it in between the two. He's going to be thinking about that one for a while. Harkness with a nice break. Backhand to Koss. Koss looking upfield. Finds Clark out in the lane. And a nice floaty lefty flick there to Beener. Nope, sorry, to Spidell. Spidell wide open. Goal Seattle. Kind of an anticlimactic finish to that exciting back and forth play. Shaw killing Portland's chances there by putting it in the turf. Spidell getting the goal on a nice flick. There's Shaw, and he just turfs it there. Bummer. And the flick from Clark. Spidell bringing it in easily as Shaw trying to get there. Getting on the ground after putting it on the ground. Tough point for Shaw there. Coach Wiggins letting his defense know what he wants as he gets off the field as Seattle gets ready to pull. Seattle pulling away here, 6-2 with 1:35 remaining in the first. Portland needs to step up here. Seattle making sure that they're not offsides. Preparing to pull. Kinley with the disc. Marching it up. Big across the field. And that's why he's paid the big bucks to handle for the Portland Stags. And by big bucks, I'm referring to Stags, male Stags. Portland getting set to pull here with just over a minute remaining in the first period. Root. Pull hits the ground just outside the end zone. Karlinski centers the Holt. Side stack. Simon out in the lane. Gets open for the nice touch hammer from Holt. Murray streaking deep. Little poach. Doesn't go. Beener. Murray. Karlinski. Karlinski finds holdover on the other sideline. Great movement from Seattle. Karlinski streaking up the sideline. Shut down by the defender. A little bit of a mismatch there, or a miscommunication. Murray gets it over to Karlinski. And there's a lot of double cutting here. Seattle so far maintaining possession, but a couple miscues. Need to clean it up as they approach the end zone here. Murray looking up, and there's a nice touch throw to Tridiak. Easy money. Danny Tridiak reels in the goal. It's a nice find from Phil Murray. Defense, no chance at that one. Tridiak pointing, slapping, high-fiving, scoring. 7-3 Seattle. 30 seconds left here in the first. Seattle in clear control early here. As Seattle gets ready to bring the defense down again. Seattle's done a remarkable job this year of scoring at the last seconds in a period. So Portland, at this point, the name of the game is clock management. They need to try and score, but they definitely shouldn't let Seattle score. Here's Murray, gets a nice one. Tridiak, hand up, says, I'm wide open, hit me. Phil Murray does. Easy pancake. Get out the syrup. Coat that in butter because it's buttery and delicious for Danny Tridiak. Matt Rader, big pull here. Again, clock management huge for Portland here. Skipsy pull off the turf, doesn't skip very far. Portland with just under 30 seconds. Friedman, Bjorklund, back to Friedman. They're going to need to send someone deep here as the clock ticks down. 20 seconds. Moving it up to midfield here. There's Meyer swinging it over. Friedman, double coverage deep from Seattle. That's smart because the clock is ticking here. 10 seconds remaining. King needing to put up something. There's a big backhand. Gustin will have a chance. Oh, but a misread as you have the two newcomers to Seattle's roster, both coming in at around between 6'4" and 6'6" probably. Rader and the Kraken, the Dutchman, coming in. Duisburg, Steve Gustin, tempted to go up early. No one coming down with it. Rader with 2.1 seconds, needs to put up something. And it's going to be a huge hammer. Not sure we'll have a chance to do anything else. Friedman grabs it, lofts it back into the end zone, but the clock is done, as is the first period of play. Seattle up 7-3 as we come out of the first period. And the refs get some action now.
Whichever team can be the loudest. You got your team jerseys on. Let me hear your cheers.
The teams will huddle up, come up with their strategy for coming in to this next quarter. And we'll be back after these messages. And we're back here, getting ready for the second period of play. Seattle leading 7-3. And getting set to pull to the Portland Stags, who take the field now. And the ref will deliver it to the pulling team. Crowd is gathered here, a few hundred people. Renton Memorial Stadium here, just south of Seattle. view in the booth of the field, some jetliners, and the beautiful Lake Washington here in Seattle. The Rainmakers solidly leading the MLU West, largely from the small ball offense that they run, short, quick passes. Portland not yet able to put a stop to it. Seattle doing a better job of guarding Portland's dumps, then vice versa. See if Portland can get some fire under them and disrupt Seattle's easy offense thus far. Kinley, bladed flick pull, stays on the field, heads out of bounds there 15 yards up. King takes it in, over to Strout. Strout swings to Friedman. It's a spread vertical stack, sort of a side vertical stack here for Portland. Friedman, Strout, Gussin open, doesn't find him. A tricky swing over to Friedman. Launches one. Kinley chasing, some contact. Koss comes over with some serious contact. Bjorklund reels it in, the intended receiver. Seattle there on the coverage, not able to get a piece of the disc. Instead, Bjorklund reels it down. Pass interference, and he takes yards as the refs discuss this here. Let's take a look. Huge throw from Friedman. Bjorklund reeling it. Tyler Kinley on his back. Reed Koss comes up over his shoulder, and Bjorklund says, I'll take the N1. He doesn't even jump. Reels it in. Now trying to punch it into the end zone. Double team. Finds Friedman. Friedman, easy swing over to King right outside the end zone. Portland should have a good shot at this goal. It's a tough swing there. Bjorklund throwing some fakes over to King. Seattle doing a good job of holding the mark here and guarding out into the lane. Nice bid from Zemmel. Can't quite get there as Meyer hangs on. Another swing there. Strout. Losing yards here to King. Back to Strout. Floaty lefty. And Spidell had a read on that the whole time. Seattle's disc. Portland not able to convert in the red zone. Kinley now over to Bryson Fox. Looks to move it. Back to Kinley. Quick double team from Bjorklund there. Kinley a hammer over to Zemmel. Getting dirty again. Zemmel launches his flick, but Barich had already broken off his cut. And that's more of a punt at this point than a legitimate throw. Zemmel taking his time, set up his flick there. Barich had already come back under. Miscommunication from Seattle there will give Portland another chance as Strout jogs to the line. Moves it over to Friedman. There's Gussin taking off. Friedman holsters it. Good D from Seattle on the handlers, and another giveaway from Portland. Spidell comes from an errant throw out to no one. Koss, Zemmel, and Laviolette open for Seattle. Rainmakers goal number 8. That's the Ocho. Portland, unsure what happened. Looking to get some help from the refs. Not going to happen. That was just a throw went out there again to Nowheresville for Portland. Spidell coming in to clean it up. And a quick strike from the defense for Seattle, getting the goal over to Alan Laviolette for the score. Portland is going to need to tighten up more than that. They're going to fight back in this game. After the turnover, nice swing across the field. Laviolette wide open. No chance for Portland there. Easy goal for number 7, Laviolette. Portland looking to tighten it up here, getting ready to receive the pull. They're going to need to do a better job of maintaining possession, particularly around the end zone. They've been doing a decent job of working it up to the end zone, but then giving it away. And that's a little bit too nice of a gift. We're months away from Christmas. Sefton warming up his pull there. Hopefully he points that down the right way, down the field. A low pull. Maybe not a puller, Sefton. More of a receiver. Portland swinging it over. Laurie. And Khalif El-Salam can't hang on. That's a drop. Again, not what Portland needs right now. Sefton with the disc. Exton Titcomb. Sam Harkness. Losing yards here. Maintaining possession. Not a lot of cuts out of this vertical stack. A little bit messy here. This is, again, Seattle's D team. Clark with it now. Finding a streak in Exton Titcomb. Minershagen on his back. Contact on the throw. Clark retains possession. Titcomb, Sefton. Sean Sears releasing. Sefton holsters it. Give go, Titcomb. Gets it back, give, go, give. And a nice D from Minershagen. Anybody's ball now. Looks like Titcomb. Nope. No one comes down with it. The ref right there, raising the roof.
Over the back on the defense.
Over the back is the call.
Seattle keeps it.
There's contact from Minershagen. Great contact, but then he continues and comes over Titcomb's back. And Seattle will retain possession until an errant swing from Harkness to Sefton. Back in the dirt. Both teams a little messy here coming into the second period. McGinn over to Laurie. Laurie to Root. Root back to Laurie. Again, a little bit of a messy stack downfield with Portland. There's a big inside-out flick, and that's Root. What just happened to Root? That was a Sam Harkness adventure that he will live to tell about. Sam Harkness, huge catch D over Nevin Root. Dustberg, big throw downfield to Sears. Gets disrupted by McGinn. Nice D from Portland. And Portland will regain possession. Eric Dustberg looking to launch a flick there. A little bit short, allowing D to get there. Portland with the disc now. Easy swings and maintaining possession is what they need. Instead, a little bit too much on that flick. And from the look of this play, you'd think there's more wind out there. But there is not. And a timeout called. Both of these teams need to regain their composure here. There's a lot of messy back and forth. Sam Harkness is huge in the air and lives for the big play. Gets up over Root. And there, Sears looking to get two hands on it, but disrupted by a flying in McGinn on the Dustberg Huck. A couple quick turnovers. And then Portland turns it over again on another bad throw there. And Seattle will regain possession at their end zone. Up 8-3 with 5 minutes remaining in the second period. Under partly sunny skies. And a beautiful Seattle June 1st. Happy June, everyone. One of the main reasons we're able to bring you this game live is our partner Elemental Technologies. Elemental is the leading supplier of video solutions for multi-screen content delivery, providing unmatched solutions for more than 250 leading media franchises worldwide. To learn more, please visit elementaltechnologies.com. Follow @elementaltech on Twitter. And there you see their logo matching the Portland jerseys. And there you see Purston on the corner. We haven't seen him on the field. Not sure if he's got an injury there or what, stretching it out. A huge part of their offense thus far this season. We'll see if he gets out there. Holt with the disc. And Jumpy Norden on the mark, hoping to get a piece of something there. Some good defense downfield initially. Holt swings it over to O'Brien. O'Brien over to Murray. Nice spacing from Seattle on a sort of side horizontal stack. A lot of handler availability. Moving it well back into their own end zone. Callahan opportunity here for Portland. O'Brien, big fake, holds it. Floaty one up to Holt. Norton can't get there. Holt retains possession, sees Burton. Big pump fake on the backhand, holsters it, probably smart. There was defenders looking there. Finds Rifkin, finds Burton. Burton, always quick to take a nice, easy shot to a dump. This time, opts for the launch. We haven't seen him throwing downfield much at all this season. And it looks like Simon able to hang on there. Not a great throw, but misread by the defender. and Simon reels it in. McGinn not able to get there. Mark Burton must have heard me chatting in his ear about always taking the dump and says, hey, I can throw goals too. That one not clean, but indeed a goal. Getting up on both sides of the stat sheet, Mark Burton. Simon saving that one for him. There's Burton, sees an opening, launches it. McGinn, misread. Simon, misread. But then the second read reels it in for the goal, Seattle. 9-3 with 4:22 remaining in the second period. Seattle defense set to go. Portland hoping to put one in the end zone. Only 3 goals so far in just over 15 minutes of play. They need to sharpen up. King takes the pull, centers it to Strout. A wide open center of the field there. Meyer comes across. Nice catch. Put ones up to Bjorklund. Bjorklund wide open. Just outside the end zone. Portland. Inside out flick from Gussin. And that's a nice finish there for Portland Stags. Finally getting one there as they come up to the end zone. Big man 19 reeling it in. Big Chris with the goal. And Seattle defenders downtrodden there. Portland hopefully capitalize on this momentum. Maybe get another one. Get a break here. Seattle capitalizing on all the breaks so far. Portland needs some energy there under their defense. Let's take another look. Big throw. Bjorklund gets it, finds Gussin. Gussin, nice, easy inside-out flick. Exton Titcom gets dirty trying to get in there. But Big Chris able to reel it in quite easily for Portland. Stags with 4 now. Big pull here. Looks like it's sailing out of bounds. And Simon will bring it in out of bounds in the middle of the field for Seattle's offense. Adam Simon finds his position there, the brick mark, and brings it in. Mark Burton isolated out in the lane, gets open. Salam giving him some room. El Salam giving him some room. Finds a crossfield flick to Matt Rader. Moses Rifkin streaking open. Rader can't get it to him. Finds Simon. Simon on the line. A little flip backhand to Karlinski. Seattle with the goal. Loop-de-loop, crossover, and the shot from Karlinski. Doing a little basketball spike after the goal. A lot of touches from a lot of Seattle players there. Following that crossfield shot to Rader. Seattle generally content to just move it to the first open man that they see. And generally that pays off quite well for them. That's the small ball that I refer to so much. Not because of its stature, because of its quickness and the short passes. There's that crossfield shot to Rader. Nicely placed. Rifkin wants that goal. The mark is there too quickly. Over to Simon. Simon catches it, runs in, and a little flip to Karlinski. Burton taking some downfield shots. And that one effective. As was his last one, though this one a little bit cleaner. Over to Rader. And there we see again Simon, an easy shot to Karlinski. As Portland brings their vertical stack here. King surveys the field. Not a lot of cutting from Portland. Kinley way off his man. And the handler, Bjorklund now with it on the side. Bjorklund, a big flick over to the middle of the field, giving Spidell a chance at it, and Spidell knocks it down. Friedman, the intended receiver. Seattle off to the races here after the turnover. Portland's throw a little bit too close to the stack, allowing Spidell to get in there and get first contact on that disc. Friedman had steps. The throw either needed to be farther or more on the sideline. Kinley lofts up a Blady flick to Reed Koss, and Seattle runs away with another break.
Koss. The Caves.
Good movement there from Seattle upon receiving the turn. 3 minutes left here in the second period. Seattle up 11-4. Portland looking to put their puzzle pieces together here. A little bit of a jig, a little bit of a saw, but no full puzzle for them yet. And there's Friedman, had steps, but Spidell coming out of the stack, and Ulrich Fox just grabs it. Seattle works it around, and then Kinley with a bladey flick to an open Reed Koss for the goal. And there's the big Dutchman, Eric Dusberg, working his way into the roster. Took a big flick shot a little bit ago. Didn't work out, but he's got big throws. The 6'6" handler, always a good thing to have. Zemmel winds up. Lofty pull. Seattle should be able to get under that if it stays in bounds. And it looks like it's sailing out of bounds. See if Portland can score quickly. As the clock keeps ticking, it'll be more and more important for Portland to get quick scores as Thornton brings it in for Portland. Side stack. McGinn out there. Doesn't get it. Norden gets it. Wants to put up a big flick because that's what he loves to do. Contact on the throw. Sailing into the end zone and trailing away. Trotter taps it. Almost gives El Salam a chance at it. And the contact on the throw will bring the disc back to Norden with another chance for Portland. Norden looking for the N1 on that hook. Norden, big throws, loves to loft it, especially his forehand. We'll get it back as the disc is back into play here. Good D from Seattle. Ulrich Fox shutting it down. That's Biener. Whoa, big grab there from Parker.
And the big catch
brings in the goal over Trotter.
11-5.
Parker for Portland. Big grab. 8-8. The double ocho. You know so. Parker.
Don't forget about Mr. Euros with the
Norden
halftime show coming up.
choosing to loft it up again.
And we have disc
And
chaos.
Parker just gets it up over a much smaller Trotter, able to maintain position on the ground and also in the air. A nice goal from Portland there. 11-5, Seattle, with 2:20 remaining in the second period of play. Looking for Portland to step up their momentum a little bit, show what they got. Suffering without Purston there running the field for them. We said he was one of the keys to the game for both sides. Seattle to stifle him and Portland to run him maybe as a decoy. Neither of those happening here with him on the sideline, apparently with an injury. Simon centers to Karlinski for Seattle. Holt streaking across the field. Disc goes back to Simon. A wide open field and sort of a vertical stack with a lot of space in the middle right now. Holt, the lefty, swings it up to Karlinski. Karlinski looking to move it quickly. And McGinn gets a hand on the disc, but
Contact foul.
also some piece of Karlinski, and he'll retain possession and get 10 yards. Karlinski into Tridiak. Tridiak with a big hammer to Clark, who's wide open. Goal Seattle. Too easy. Clark looks at himself in the mirror of the disc, says, yeah, well, that's right. I did it again. Clark gets some love from Murray and celebrates his teammates out the field. Clark had a good 10 yards there, and Tridiak has a huge forehand and hammer from his baseball days. Karlinski finds Tridiak coming in. Clark, easy, no one else in sight. And he checks himself there. Yep, his mustache is right. And that's a little too easy there for Seattle. Portland again doing a lot of chasing here. Seattle marching all over them here in front of their home crowd. 12-5 now. 12 points, a big score here We're still in the first half. Portland's going to need to tighten up their D for the rest of this quarter and coming into the second half. Seattle, of course, getting a chance to experiment with some defensive stunts and different looks on offense and try out some things for their upcoming matchups against the San Francisco Dogfish. As Portland brings it in here with 1:40 remaining in the second period, Friedman puts it out there for Hancock. Hancock cocks it and launches it. Koss and Spidell are there against Gussin, and Gussin brings it down. Nice positioning there as the defensive tried to make a sandwich out of him, and he gets the goal and throws it down and said, "Give me my sandwich, yum, yum, yum."
King takes it back to Steve Gussin.
Gussin. Don't be tussling with Gussin. Believe in the Steve. And a nice quick shot from Portland. Not very much time off the clock there. There's Gussin in between. The defensive sandwich comes down with it in his left hand. Little give, little go. King finds him with the high backhand. Gussin fired up. Goal Portland. Gussin said the delicatessen is open. Steve Gussin sandwich. With a little milk, because I'm milking that one. Portland needs to get a break here to have any shot at getting back into this game. Of course, they say anything can happen in the second half here, but Seattle with the clear momentum and double the score of Portland. 1:20 left. Let's see if Seattle tries to take a quick shot or take care of the disc here for an entire minute and 20. Try to score at the end as the clock ticks down. Again, Seattle been excellent with clock management. Moving it up the field, Rifkin all the way across the field to Rader. Looks like an easy one for Rader. And he brings it in as Minershagen trying to get in there. Minershagen been in a lot of plays here. Gone a little bit of both ways. Rader, an excellent receiver. And Rifkin puts it out there with plenty of space. Rader able to size it up and get up and get it. Minershagen coming close to that one. There it is from Rifkin all the way across the field. Rader gets position, gets in front. Minershagen having to try to come over his back. That's a big back. Rader had to read on it the whole time. Times his jump. Easily brings it in for the goal. Matt Rader working into the offensive system here for Seattle quite well. Bodes well for Seattle's chances against the Dogfish coming in towards the end of the season and in the playoffs. As Seattle's defense looking to get another break with just over a minute remaining in the second period of play. 13-6 Seattle. All the momentum. The fans behind them. And another Blady pull going out the side. Nope, staying in. That's a nice roller pull from Kinley. King centers to Hancock. Hancock swings it over to Norden. Norden forced to take a backhand. Over to Friedman. Friedman looking to take a shot up to Meyer, and Reed Koss diving around him. No contact, gets the block. Great defensive play by Reed Koss. Kinley with a huge hammer to Hancock, who's on the other team. Danny Clark watching, the intended receiver. And now Bjorklund with a fake. We've got 40 seconds left on the clock. Friedman, four handlers back. Portland needs to get their cutters here. There's Meyer open. Meyer, a nice floaty shot out to Bjorklund. Nope, not enough floats. A little too much knife. Not enough cloud on that one. 30 seconds remaining. Dustberg swings it over to Kinley. Kinley having a dive to keep it up and in over to Koss. Koss looking at a streaking Harkness. Finds Biener easily coming under. Finds Clark, finds Dustberg. Finds Koss. Koss puts out in front of Spidell. That's a nice backhand. Spidell goal with just under 10 seconds remaining. Good clock management from Seattle, although Portland will have a chance with 9.6 seconds remaining here in the first half. Seattle moving it well down the field there to get the goal after another errant throw from Portland. And the music firing up. Danny Clark. There's Dustberg with a swing to Kinley. throws it as he's getting up to Koss, who centers it to Dustberg. Back to Koss. Koss with a nice backhand to Spidell. Koss, a great defender. You'll remember he got that dive-through block. Also a great touch backhand thrower. Norden, not a chance. Spidell, easy chance. Seattle out in front. 14-6. Let's see if Portland can get something going here in 9.6 seconds. We can expect Seattle to keep some defenders back, as it will undoubtedly be a Hail Mary coming in with just under 10 seconds remaining. Matt Rader, big inside-out backhand pull. 2 Rainmakers coming probably to get the double team on, with the other 5 hanging back. Up to Bjorklund. Bjorklund with that double team. Thornton having to grab it, and he's not going to get it off in time. McGinn gets the late one. Thornton has to hit the turf to keep that one alive, killing Portland's chances. As we come out of the first half of play here, Seattle up 14-6. The Rainmakers over the Stags here, coming to the second period. We're going to halftime now. We'll be back with you in the second half of play here in Renton Memorial Stadium. Thanks so much for tuning in here today. For all your MLU action, as the teams head in to the locker room. welcome back here. Fans enjoying some halftime entertainment here at Renton Memorial Stadium. Little contest, seeing if they can throw it through the drop of rain. Rainmakers fans here. Teams goofing around, getting warmed up. Come back into the second half. Let's take a look now. Here's Timmy Burton, huge receiver this year for Portland. He's been sick, and so he's seeing if he's feeling good to get back in for the second half. One of the leading scorers in the MLU. Definitely hurting Portland now. And some playful action on the sideline there with several hundred fans here in Renton cheering on their Rainmakers as we get set to review some of the plays of the week from around the MLU. The Friction Gloves Catch of the Week. Friction Gloves, the official glove sponsor of the MLU, as we'll take a look in just a moment at number 22, Seth Reinhardt. Swing goes over. When Brent Anderson here puts it deep, he expected to find Jake Taylor there. 0-0. But then Seth Reinhardt comes up with a huge second chance grab for the score. Fist pumping and all. The defensive play of the week. Be taking a look at a speedy Nick Parifico. Boston up 2, looking to extend that lead in the second quarter. Whitecaps huck it deep. Unfortunately for the Whitecaps, Nick Parifico, huge layout D. Parifico, terrifico. The wave-borne offensive play of the week. Some of these guys might look familiar. Number 16, Mark Burton for the Rainmakers. Throw goes up there. Adam Holt, lofty flick out towards the back of the end zone. There's Burton, towing the line, keeping his eye on the line, reaches out, grabs it, throws the greatest. Sam Harkness comes up with the huge grab for Seattle's second greatest of the season. And when you are trying to be the greatest at the greatest in Ultimate, that's pretty good. Those are the plays of the week, brought to you by some of the MLU sponsors. As you see Portland here in front of the 5 Ultimate sign. 5 Ultimate is the official apparel provider to the MLU. They are true lovers of the game and have built their company with a vision for growing the sport and outfitting those who play it. Visit them at 5ultimate.com or follow them on Twitter, twitter.com/5ultimate. A Seattle-based company, one of the 5 that they refer to there. The 5 Titcomb siblings is Exton Titcomb out on the field today for the Seattle Rainmakers. Portland gets set to come in here. 40 seconds to go left in halftime. Hopefully they can bring some more fire to the second half as they get ready to come out here. And we'll see if Burton rejoins the roster. He was warming up, as we saw, during the halftime break. And we see the halftime festivities finishing up here. A suited Ted Werble leading the crowd through the fun and the accuracy competition culminating in some mid-level accuracy. The Seattle Rain drip there looking to receive those discs. As they wrap it up, halftime is over, and we're getting ready to come in for the third period of play here at the Rainmakers' home, Renton Memorial Stadium, with the visiting Portland Stags. Again, Seattle clinching their spot last week in the playoffs, in the finals on June 29th, undoubtedly against the San Francisco Dogfish. This week's games around the MLU. Boston is at D.C. New York is at Philadelphia. Portland here at Seattle today. And tomorrow, Portland travels to San Francisco. A big weekend for them, traveling up and down the coast. They'll be driving back down to Portland and then flying down to San Francisco. Next week's games, oh, here we go. Eastern Conference standings. Boston Whitecaps just dominating the field, 7-0. The New York Rumble and the DC Current tied for second at 2-4, and the Philadelphia Spinners, the 2-5 record, bringing up the end of the East Coast pack. Boston Whitecaps just thumping teams. Thump, thump, thump. Next week's games, San Francisco visits Vancouver, and DC travels to New York. Get all the action at MLUultimate.com. Here we go. We're underway in the second half as Portland Stags send the pull down all the way to the end zone here for Seattle. Simon getting ready to bring it in, looking to center it to Holt. Portland a little slow to get down on defense. Now they're on as Seattle looks to run their play. Finds Murray, who bobbles it, tries for a second chance. It hits him in the head as it bounces off the ground. Sorry about that, Phil Murray. A good effort, but can't hang on initially with the grab. And Portland will have a chance to get a break coming right into the second half, which could be huge for them. Deloy made a nice cut out in the lane, did not get it, and then another errant throw for Portland. That is not the way they wanted to start the second half. Putting those swings in the turf, it's not the way to go. Moses Rifkin finds an opening deep. O'Brien lofts a flick quickly to get it out there. Rifkin, the intended receiver, and Rader, who was covering ground from the weak side, neither of them are able to catch up with that disc. And a couple throws hitting the turf here. Rifkin trying to track it, trying to get there. You see the strain on his face, and Rader coming in a little too late to make a play on it. Turnover Seattle. Portland gets another chance at their own end zone. Laurie over to Hancock. Hancock moves it over to Minershagen. Minershagen puts a lofty one up. Two cutters there. El Salam looking to just reel it in. Murray swats at it. Second chance attempt, and Rifkin gets his hand on it. There you see that going swiftly backwards. We'll probably see it again here in just a moment. As Seattle looks to pick up the disc. Moving it. There's Holt. Rader saying, I'm open over here. Sends a floaty hammer. Rader gets it. Minershagen coming. Rader, a little high backhand to Burton. Burton looks at a couple of cutters deep. Gotten away from his move it to the dump quickly mentality. Looking to be a threat more than just as a cutter. Holt finds him out in the lane. Burton, are you serious? Another greatest attempt. He puts it back in. And Matt Rader comes across and grabs it. That is unbelievable. And we'll see what the refs decide happened there. It looks like Burton may have been out of bounds when he made that greatest attempt. But Matt Rader doing a heroic job of trying to keep it alive with the double hustle play. Mark Burton getting the floater from Adam Holt. We've seen that before. Burton looking to toe the line. And a good call by the ref. He steps on the line, but a great attempt. Gets that greatest back into play. And Matt Rader, of course, comes down with it, but to no avail as it was out of bounds. And Portland with the disc again. Some exciting stuff from Seattle. Another greatest attempt. It's ridiculous. Here we go. Portland controlling the pace here. Moving it across to their handlers. Matt Rader gets his hand on a backhand swing on the flick side. That's why you got to sharpen up that flick. A little bit of a lazy throw there from Minershagen, and Rader says, stuffy in here. Is it? Yes, it is. Adam Holt on the end zone line. A nice buttery hammer right in there to Simon. Adam Holt says, yeah, I got the big hammer in my tool belt, the sledge if I need it, or I have the little rock hammer hidden in a book somewhere. He delivers that right over there to Simon. Easy goal. Matt Rader coming up with a couple big plays there. Of course, the greatest catch, which did not count, though a wonderful attempt from Mark Burton. And then a foot block on Minershagen and on the swing. And then there's Adam Holt with a nice touch hammer to Simon. Goal. Adam Holt. Adam Simon. And those guys are both up and Adam. Seattle looking to bring it down here on defense again. 15-6. 6:46 remaining in the third period. Portland looking to bring it in here. Centers to Strout. Bjorklund takes off deep, doesn't get it. A streaking Meyer does. Centers again to Friedman, takes off. Disc moves over to Strout. Strout pivoting, faking, finding Thornton. Thornton over to Bjorklund. Bjorklund, wide open Friedman deep. Nice quick goal from Portland.
Fires the fast hammer to Friedman.
Friedman open deep. And Friedman very effective on both sides of the disc there, showing himself as a receiver. A nice shot from Bjorklund. There the disc moves, double swing over, mixing up that field. The lean, the hammer, right into his bread basket. And Friedman will have a picnic. And coming into this half, there's been 7 turnovers in just a little over 3.5 minutes, which would make it seem like anybody's game, but Seattle still with a huge cushion here. 15-7, though a nice quick goal from Portland gives them a shot to get back within spitting distance of a ball game here. Simon brings it down, goes to O'Brien. Stack in the middle of the field, vertical. Adam Holt gets it, puts a nice floaty flick out. Looks like Minershagen will not get there, but neither will Murray as it sails out of bounds. And a rare error from Adam Holt. And Portland, if they can capitalize on this, get some nice momentum here coming into the middle of the third quarter. Friedman again. We see him a lot with the disc, both sides of it. Here, holding it down as a handler. And it's a vertical stack, a little bit of a messy vertical stack. They opt for the swing. Smart move. Another swing over to Hancock. Hancock getting it. Need a cut on that side of the field there. Nice flip over to Laurie. Moving the disc quite well is Portland now. Opting for the small ball themselves. Trying to find El Salam. Danny Tridiak comes out there. Doesn't change direction with Salam and keeps going to the disc. Tries for a hammer. Talk about turnovers. Here they come in droves. Turn, turn, turn. For every season. Turn, turn, turn. Some tough shots here. And the first team to tighten up their choices. Going to get away with this one here. Tridiak looking at Burton. Holsters it. That's the choices we're talking about. Sefton. Friedman on the Simon. Simon a wide open flick side of the field. Tridiak open in the middle. Seattle great at hitting the open man. Tridiak doesn't see Murray there. Looking for a hammer shot. Wisely swings it over to O'Brien with the backhand up to Holt. And Seattle bringing in the focus there at the end. After a whole slew of turnovers, sharpens it up for the goal. Some messy play on the field before that. And Holt reels in the goal. And maybe working out some of the miscommunications that happened in that last play. Here's Tridiak. Friedman almost gets there with Sefton, but Seattle able to hang on. O'Brien feeding Adam Holt for the Seattle goal. Making it look easy after making it look messy on both ends. And here's Kinley with another Seattle pull. Blady backhand rolls out the side, giving Portland about a 30-yard head start, but starting on the sideline. The power position here, definitely in the middle of the field, particularly with the 53-yard wide field. So Portland moves it to King towards the middle, where you have the most options as a thrower for your cutters downfield. Thornton gets it from Strout, puts up a flick, not really giving his offense a chance there. Put it between Kinley and Sears. Sears comes down with it for Seattle. Kind of a messy huck there from Thornton. Not really giving his cutters a chance at that one. And Sears will back up into his own end zone. Resume play. Finds Harkness. Harkness up to Titcomb, streaking up the sideline. Sears wants it deep. Trotter wants it deep. It goes deep from Titcomb. Trotter there, reeling it in. Looks like something happened before that throw. A lot of guys stopped running. The ref's taking control here and backing it up. As the refs discuss exactly what happened. A nice shot there went up from Exton Titcomb to an open, streaking Elliott Trotter, but that will not count. And following the call there, appeared to be a timeout, but no, the teams are going back to their sidelines. And they're backing it up. Seattle looks like they'll retain possession back at their own 8-yard line. Once we're getting out of this timeout, it is a timeout. As you see the skies clearing here in Renton. Not much wind, a lovely day for some Ultimate. And the fans agree, celebrating Seattle's success here. A wonderful opening season for the Rainmakers in this initial West Coast MLU season. Check out SeattleRainmakers.com, PortlandStags.com for team info, player bios, and to get your own MLU jerseys, discs, and other sweet swag. Innova is the official disc of the MLU, the Innova Pulsar. Designed in cooperation with players and staff of the MLU, the new Pulsar is the perfect disc for the pro game. Get your Pulsar today at shopmlultimate.com or visit innovadiscs.com for a look at the rest of their product line, including world-class disc golf gear. And we're underway here again. Seattle with the disc. There's Sefton swinging it over to Harkness. Harkness on the line. Back to Sefton. Over to Karlinski. Seattle doing a great job swinging it all the way across the field. Kinley, O'Brien, and Exton Titcomb wide open there as Portland's defense struggles to recover. They're leaving guys open in the middle of the field, including Moses Rifkin, who sends a backhand out of reach of Tyler Kinley. And that's a sloppy throw there from Rifkin. Usually very good at maintaining possession is Moses Rifkin there. Just gets a little ahead of himself, puts one out in front of Kinley. And Portland, McGinn, taking it in off the sideline. Portland swinging it over. Swing goes back to Friedman. Friedman steps up, sends a nice flick down the line to Khalif El-Salam. Hangs on to this one, looking downfield. Needs to move it soon. Titcomb bidding, but Laurie hanging on, looking down the sideline. A nice, easy backhand swing there across to Minershagen, who swings it over and then gets it back. Oh, that's Laurie, sorry. Now Minershagen tried to one hand. That's why they say catch it with two hands, folks, because he did not. Tried for the one hand and lost it. Harkness now sends a lofty hammer to Sefton, who normally would bid for that. That must mean it was not possible to catch it because Sefton loves those glory catches. Harkness leads a little too far out in front. And following that Seattle turnover, a timeout here. So far, a fairly sloppy second half with just 1:40 remaining in the third. There's that flip lefty, and he had a read on it there. And McGinn just couldn't hang on, and then there's Harkness. Once Seattle got it back, Sefton looking to get there and just can't. That hammer coming down a little too quickly and laughing it off, saying good look. Maybe saying my bad, though. Clearly not his bad. And the kids line up for their discs, shirts, whatever. Looks like Ted Werble in his suit there is looking to give away a disc. Look at those kids. So many Ultimate players of the future there. Sends one into the crowd. And the Jinja comes down with it. And opts not to give it away to a smaller child, but rather keep it for himself. What would you do? Well, myself, I would sign it and give it to a small child. You would? Yes, I would. Here we go. We're getting ready to come back into play. Portland getting ready to bring in the disc. Down 9, 16-7. 1:40 remaining in the third period. Portland with a horizontal stack with an ISO cutter as Cole pushes off and gets open for a gain of none. Give go. Zemmel unbelievably gets his hand in there from the far side of Cole, but evidently gets more than just disc. Pass interference. Portland will retain possession. Cole with the disc in the middle of the field. Moves it up, finds Laurie. Laurie swings it over. Another swing into Strout. Back to Laurie. Portland, a lot of cuts out of their horizontal. Strout, McGinn. McGinn lofts one. And a misread there by Cole. Seattle gets the disc back. Zemmel puts one up to Clark. Clark getting ready to dive for it, and it just sits there for him. And he's able to bring it back in, and he tightens up that mustache again, trying to appeal to all those French watchers watching the MLU live from France. Johnny Clark. The mustache is there once he gets it. There's Zemmel almost getting that block. Cole says, he got me. And the ref agrees, but then they get it back. Zemmel puts one up. Clark getting ready to bid. Nope. It's easy. It's too easy. And he swoops his mustache there and says, yes, that's another goal for me. There you see the plane taking off. As Seattle gets ready to pull, here's Rader. Big backhand pull. In front of the Portland end zone in the center of the field. Moves it over to King. Good movement here from Portland. Bring it back in. Johnson. No swing there. Sends it back down the line. Looks like Bjorklund. Bjorklund. Hancock. Hancock. Big swing over to Gusson. Gusson wide open. Gusson up to Johnson. Johnson surveying the field. Here comes a double team. Finds Bjorklund. Bjorklund cocks a flick through two defenders and clipped by Sean Sears as Meyer suffers the heat but maintains possession. A nice grab. Bjorklund kind of setting him up for that one, throwing it between two Seattle defenders, but finds the window, and kudos to Meyer, who reels that in despite contact, and it looks like he's okay as he steps off the field there. A nice grab. Goal for Portland. Now with 8. The Ocho. Some good movement there from Portland, and then Bjorklund sends it right between two defenders, and Meyer just off your screen there with a huge grab. Sears tries to get there and ends up under the feet of Meyer, who rolls over but hangs on to the disc, bumps his head a little bit. Let's hope he's okay. It appears that he is. Nice catch. Only 3.8 seconds remain in this third period, but I wouldn't put it past Seattle to launch one up and have a chance at this. Let's see who's going to take the Hail Mary. Portland sending the pull, keeping it inbounds. Were it me, I might send it out of bounds to give a better chance to set up. Simon centers it to Zemmel, who launches a flick, but it won't make it to the end zone. And Portland putting a stop to that one. Linershagen getting all over that D. As we come out of the third period of play, Seattle up 17-8. All the momentum and more here coming into the final fourth period of play. Stay with us, folks. Still a lot of ultimate here to go. We see the Rainmakers huddle. Let's see what fine-tuning they want to do. And we'll be back with the fourth quarter play in just a moment. is out with a broken hand. Major League Ultimate, folks. There's the end of a disc. Get all the action online, MajorLeagueUltimate.com. And here we see the Rainmakers top of the pile on the west coast of the MLU. Of course, Portland bottom of that short stack for teams on the west coast here. And teams living up to their expectations here today. Portland trailing Seattle by quite a bit as we get underway shortly in the fourth period. As the sun's shining down here, a few hundred fans shaded. Ren Caldwell of Ren Fitness, the Seattle trainer, keeping an eye on the Seattle Rainmaker Club, keeping them all in shape. Koss talks to the D team here as Seattle sets to pull. Just moments away from getting back into the fourth. If you're just joining us, where have you been? Zemmel getting ready to pull here. A lot of pulls inbound so far. A lot of rollers from Seattle, sending it out the side, allowing them to set up their defense, pushing Portland to the side of the field. We'll see what Zemmel opts for here with this pull coming in. Portland successful when they are able to swing it all the way across the field, sometimes leaving themselves hanging with one or two dumps or swings and no continues. That continue is key for making those dump swings effective. There's a hangy backhand from Zemmel, and Seattle will be right on top of Portland as they bring it in. Just the handlers so far. Now we get it over to Meyer, still in handler territory. They haven't gained much yards here. Meyer, a tricky little backhand trying to get it to Hancock, and Hancock doesn't even bid for it. It looks like that was going to be well out of bounds. And not great offense there from Portland. They managed to swing it across the field, only to turn it over. As Kinley brings it in for Seattle. Fakes the flick, opts for a very bladey hammer to Zemmel. Zemmel brings it in easily. Fires one over to Koss. Reels it in. Koss, Laviolette, Koss, Spidell, to Exton Titcomb, who finds Matty Zemmel wide open in the end zone. Zemmel with the pretend I dropped it spike. Classic. Quite easy there for Seattle. And Portland's going to need to do better than that if they're going to gain any ground here and finish strong in this fourth quarter. Seattle coming up on 20 points here, 18-8. After the turn, they almost get a hack here, getting the disc around to almost everyone on the Seattle team. And Zemmel wide open. Thornton can't get there. Zemmel, classic spike. And Seattle looking to pour it on again, maybe with another break here, unless Portland can fine-tune their offense. Portland clearly relying on the receiver abilities of Person, who's out sick, maybe getting ready to play in tomorrow's game that Portland has in San Francisco tomorrow. Nice grab from Bjorklund to save that possession. Very clean layout. There's Hancock with another layout, making it a little hard on themselves, but they're bringing it in. Hancock, trouble finding. A nice give-go, and then an easy catch for El Salam in the end zone, who swings it between his legs for the spike. And some tricky catches there from Portland, but all in all, some good offense from them. Little give and go from their handlers sets up a nice shot to Khalif El Salam. Bjorklund, picture-perfect layout. Norden, give go. Hancock cocks it, sends it. Khalif El-Salam able to stay on his feet along the sideline there, bring it in with the backhanded catch for the goal. As Portland looking to put on their defensive team, see if they can't get a block here against Seattle. Of course, what we've seen so far this game, there's been O'Brien, Tridiak. Portland's letting them get the unders here. There's a little pressure on the sideline. And Minershagen mixes it up, gets in there. Karlinski, though, pass interference, will retain possession. A nice effort from Minershagen. And Karlinski. Tridiak puts it up. And yeah, that looks like it's a strip. Karlinski says he's got it in his hand. Minershagen, I think, there said, yep, I got you. Karlinski brings it back in. O'Brien to Simon. Goal, Seattle. 7:30 remaining in the fourth period of play. 19-9 as the refs discuss. Eric and Morgan, there they are. Seattle getting set to come down here on defense. Trying to break 20 points, 7.5 minutes left to do it. I think they can. I think they can. Though we have seen a fourth period of play, Seattle against the Nighthawks several weeks ago, scoreless in the fourth period. Vancouver Nighthawks, of course, a little bit more experience. Those veterans able to put on that run. We'll see what Portland can do here with just the 7:28 remaining. Another pull, rolling out the side, allowing Seattle defense to get set up. And it looks like King will bring it in. There's the double team on the sideline. Stifling the first shot, finds Bjorklund. Bjorklund wants to send a big backhand, can't. Finds a flick over to Parker. Parker sends one high. And Johnson almost gets it in. But Beener gets out there and says, no. Kinley's in. There's a double team on him on the corner. That's a good spot for the double team, but he's able to get it off to Zemmel. Zemmel, big flick there now to Spidell. Spidell, flick up to Beener, who had that huge D a moment ago. Finds Zemmel. Zemmel surveying the field. Takes a big hammer. Whistle on the field as Spidell can't hang on to the hammer, but the call came before that.
Timeout, Seattle.
Timeout, Seattle. And now, timeout here as Coach Dusty for Portland, surveying his squad. Getting ready to come back in here with 6:30 remaining in the fourth period of play. 19-9 Seattle. Seattle's offensive squad bringing in the final huddle before we get going again here. To keep up on all the news and events from around the league, like the MLU on Facebook at facebook.com/MLU Ultimate, ML Ultimate. And follow the league at twitter.com/ML Ultimate. Founded just last year, the Ulti Apps application was designed to help teams and players track their performance on the club Ultimate field. There's a variety of updates and a new suite of applications, ultiapps.com. Seattle bringing the disc back in. Matt Rader streaks deep, but a good for another swing over to Murray. Murray with the high socks. Cox doesn't send it. Adam Holtz. Big lefty flick fakes. There's one that goes off to Murray. Phil Sox Murray finds Adam Holt again. Upfield with a nice swing. There's Burton. Burton with it. Again sends it upfield, and Mark Burton sends it up against two Portland defenders fighting for that block. Minershagen And Norden all over that one. Burton with a not a good throw there, as Simon doesn't even try to get in the mix. He didn't have a chance. Lack of communication there on the defensive end, but both of those guys fired up to get there. Mark Burton throwing downfield a lot more this game with mixed results. There you see he throws it to 2 Portland players. Mark, you play for Seattle. Portland now with the disc, sending it down the long. Khalif El-Salam, maybe some contact, lofts up a big flick. Deloy trying to get there, Matt Rader. That's what they call Raider bait. Matt Rader, the big fish there, coming down with it. O'Brien, a huge flick to Simon, who's got steps. Wow, nice shot from Mario O'Brien to a streaking Adam Simon, and Laurie, no chance at that one. From one handler to another, this time Adam Simon, handler for Seattle, with steps. Great shot from Mario O'Brien. And Laurie tracking him, but a beautiful throw out in front. Doesn't give him a chance to get there as O'Brien gets some high fives from his team on the sideline. There's Matt Rader with a huge snack time D on the hook, and then O'Brien on the other end. A nice floaty shot out to space. Simon able just to reel it in, keeping his gait the whole time. And Laurie on his back, 5 yards. Can't get there. Goal Seattle, and they've got 20-9 with just under 5 remaining in the game. It's 4th period of play, and the second half in general a little sloppy. Seattle tightening up the screws a little bit more than the Portland squad. Some big defensive plays. Portland centers to Hancock. Hancock back on the far side of the field to King. King to Bjorklund with a huge hammer. And Johnson brings it in for the goal. Big hammer from Portland. Bjorklund with a launch. And Johnson brings in another tricky one. Catching the hammer with defensive pressure around him. Nice play from Johnson. And he gets some hand slaps from the Portland Stags as he heads off. And Portland's defensive team comes in. Bjorklund with a big old hammer. There you see him getting it and launching it. It's not the first one we've seen from him. Johnson wide open. And keeps it up as Clark tries to get there. Koss can't get a read on it. Clark hugs him and says, "You're great. Nice catch." And Khalif El-Salam getting ready to send the pull down for Portland. El-Salam, a dominant player in the Seattle junior scene. And then showing his stuff here in the big leagues. Pull goes down. Simon centers it to Karlinski. Karlinski finds an open Moses Rifkin coming in. Rifkin fakes the flick, looking for Karlinski. Turns back, flick to Tridiak. Tridiak back to Rifkin. And Seattle's downfield cutters sending passes back and forth. And Rifkin sends a nice shot up to Karlinski, who shakes his defender with an in-cut and finds an opening deep, able to run on and get the goal. Rifkin Karlinski for another Seattle goal. 21-10. 4:15 remaining in the 4th period in the game. Seattle's offense coming away with another one. Rifkin sends a floaty one up. Karlinski able to get there and get himself into the end zone. Moses Rifkin all over that play, getting it in the middle of the field, and then some give goes with Tridiak, you see running by there, and Karlinski, who reels it in for the score. And Seattle, comfortable lead on the sideline, up 11 with only 4:15 remaining. Portland now looking to save some face, get some plays in there. Matt Rader sending the pull down, already showing he's very much a part of this team. Not missing much of a beat here, getting back incorporated into Seattle's offense and defensive squads. Hancock centers to King. King swings across the field. Big Chris. Whoa! Zemmel, springy D, and Seattle has the disc back coming up towards their end zone. Zemmel with a huge D, giving Seattle another chance. Kinley, big cross field to Reed Koss, who finds Zemmel for bookends, gets the D, gets the goal, and does a dance. Little sidestep dance. Might be out on the dance floor tonight celebrating. Let's take another look. Big Chris looks upfield. There's Gussin. No, there's Zemmel. Zemmel, huge D for Seattle. Nice diving form for him. Then Kinley with a nice cross-field backhand to Koss. Flippy lefty to Zemmel. Zemmel says, where'd that go? Oh, yes, it was in my hands when I was in the goal. Gola, gola, gola. An easy one for Seattle. Seattle doing a better job of knocking it in on the end zone line with their end zone offense. Portland having given away a few too many there this game, as we've seen. Ulrich Fox set to pull. And there's the pull. All the way down, a nice pull from Ulrich Fox. Portland moving the disc over to the flick sideline. A slingshot in there to El Salam, finds Norden. Norden, can I throw a huge flick? Yes, I can. And a nice one. Though McGinn can't quite get in the end zone and calls a timeout right on the goal line, saying, let's talk about this one and make sure we get it. A nice shot from Norden, finding McGinn there across the field. Norden again with that huge flick. Nice form. And McGinn open there. There you see it from another angle. McGinn leaving Sears in the dust. Can't quite get in the end zone. Looks around, says timeout. I got no options here. Let's talk about it. And there they are, talking about it. Figuring out what they're going to do. Norden, McGinn, Bjorklund leading the conversation there, saying, you do that. You do that. And we'll get on the turf and in the goal. There you see the turf. It's nice turf, as you could see. Seattle sideline there, doing a little dance. Phil Murray, always a hit on the dance floor, doing a little talkie-talkie, blah, blah, blah dance. It's one of my favorites. As Portland prepares to bring it back in on the end zone line. It's a vertical stack, a very wide dump with King and Norden straight back. Let's see if they send one of their dumps up. They're isolating Bjorklund in the front, and they have very few options. I think it would have been better had they not called the timeout, although he finds a cross-field hammer with a single-hand grab. Lucks out of that one. McGinn lost a hammer after not having anything. They're talking about what happened there. No, you were supposed to go there. I was supposed to catch it. But Seattle with some good defense there stuffs it down. McGinn launches the hammer. And a one-handed grab on the far side. Let's take a look. Looking at his options. Fakes left, fakes right. Can't get the dump off. Nice D there from Ulrich Fox. Launches a hammer cross field with a nice, here's the view as McGinn saw it. Nice grab there, Johnson. Is that Johnson? Brings it in. Portland strikes again, 11-22. Big score for Seattle. 3:15 remaining in the fourth period as Portland sends the pole down. Jogging down, Adam Holt brings in the pole. Centers to Simon. Simon over to Karlinski. A horizontal stack. Murray out in the lane. Doesn't get it. Murray comes back across. Does get it from Karlinski. Flip shot over to Adam Holt. Adam, the lefty Holt. Nice yardage gainer to Murray. Murray has Karlinski streaking up. A little inside-out flick. Karlinski to Burton. Burton again, taking scoring shots, puts that one nicely out in front of Tridiak. Minershagen wanting to be in the mix again. He's all over. I don't know who he's guarding. He seems to be in every big play. A nice attempt there, but a nice shot from Burton Crossfield flick. It's a tricky one towards the end zone, but puts it out in front, and Tridiak able to get there and maintain the grab despite Minershagen getting out there, being a presence there. Nice grab, Tridiak. Nice shot, Burton. Good offense from Seattle through their handlers, some yardage gainers. Burton says, put it out. Tridiak said put it out. Burton did put it out. Minershagen. Tridiak gets it. And the tumble, and everybody's okay, which is what we like to see. And some high fives. Matt Rader with a pull for Seattle. Big pull. King brings it down. McGinn swings it over to Thornton. Over to Bjorklund. Over to King. King, high backhand there to Gusson. Open. Rader reels in the mark. Gusson lets loose. A break. Backhand. Bjorklund able to hang on to it and finds Thornton for the goal. Bjorklund getting dirty again. A nice shot from Gusson. Bjorklund saves it. Johnson. Nope, Thornton. Sorry. Wants him to know who it was. And, of course, I mixed it up. But it was Thornton who reeled in the goal from Bjorklund. Let's take another look. Gusson steps around the mark, launches a backhand. Bjorklund diving to maintain possession, finds Thornton open for the goal. Bjorklund. Thornton. Goal, spins around, doing a little dance. Swing your partner if your partner is the Innova disc. Pulsar. Khalif El-Salam with the pull for Portland. 2:21 remaining in the fourth period of play. 23-12. Seattle's out in front. No chance for Portland to come back in, but a chance for the teams to work on their offense and defensive play. Karlinski, Moses Rifkin. Rifkin has Clark wide open. Burton takes off. You got to send it this late in the game. Out too far in front. Burton tries anyway. Can't get there. Clark, no surprise that he put that out. Burton, a great receiver. Clark, more of a receiver than a thrower. Still putting it out there for him. Can't quite get there. Burton, no, almost. Known sometimes as Hero. Can't get the holy grail of that pass. Portland with possession again here. Deloy looking upfield. The refs putting a stop to that play.
Foul on the defense.
Looks like a defensive foul. Deloy will take yards. 10 yards on the contact foul, and play will resume. Moses Rifkin on the mark, and we're back. Deloy upfield to Root. Root on the line, finds Norden. Norden. Nice flick, shot. Minershagen. Over to Cole. Some good swings here, quick disc movement. Norn with the disc looking to score, moves it, give go with Root, give go, give. Root can't get there. Was that an upside down backhand? And Root's down. But he pops back up. Maybe more frustration than injury there. Some give go, give gone awry. That is a scuba that's there, and Root hesitates, and then once he makes a bid, it's a little too far out of reach. I'm not sure exactly what put fault there, but Portland with another mistake right outside their own end zone. Holt now with Seattle. Leading the offense, telling his players where to go. They set up a horizontal stack as Root does take an injury sub for Portland. And O'Brien comes in. Seattle replacing Holt, sending him to take a break. And O'Brien will bring it in. And Norden will come and guard him. 47 seconds remaining here in the game as O'Brien brings it in to a Rifkin streak across cut. A nice backhand there from O'Brien to Rifkin. But another call on the play, and the clock will remain stopped with 45.8 remaining on the clock. And we'll go back to O'Brien. Now we've got 50 seconds back on the clock. And it might have been a clock discrepancy, and that play might have not actually technically started. Here's the horizontal stack. Burton clears the sideline. Murray gets really open. Nice cut from Murray. Centers to Karlinski. Moses Rifkin open again. A nice grab to save possession there. Seattle's off and running. Murray, Karlinski. Karlinski up to Burton. Burton has O'Brien on the sideline, faces the middle, and sends another shot deep. This one to Clark. Clark puts on his wheels, gets there. Mark Burton on both ends of the disc this time, throwing goals. Donnie Clark padding his stats, and again padding his mustache. I would think that that mustache would hold. He's gotten a few goals here and perked it up quite a few times. It's hard to see from here, but I'm guessing that is an upturned mustache. Donnie Clark gets some slappy high fives there. Mark Burton sends a flick crossfield. Clark, speedy, and gets it. Putting on the Jets. Clark leaving his defender in the dark. Yeah, baby. Oh, yes, the mustache. We've got 28.3 seconds remaining in the game here. Portland a bit deflated. See if they can have the energy to finish this one out, maybe get another point on the board. Seattle with a huge score, 24 points. The Stags with 12. Zemmel with a pull. And we're off maybe here the last point with only 28 seconds left, likely the last point of the game. King brings it down, McGinn swings it over to Gusson. Thornton takes off, doesn't get it from Gusson. Gusson swings it over to King. Stacks a little deep for Portland, but openings. There's El Salam over to Gusson. El Salam takes off up line. Gusson holsters it. Over to Thornton. Thornton surveys the field over to El Salam. 3 seconds left. El Salam launches one. It's not going to quite get to the end zone. And that's the end of play here as Gusson brings it in. Portland not able to score that final point. And the final score, 24 for the Seattle Rainmakers to the Portland Stags 12. Some great plays here in Renton Memorial Stadium as the teams huddle up to wish each other a good game. Portland, of course, getting ready for their game tomorrow in San Francisco against the Dogfish. And they'll have to win out to ensure a spot in the playoffs here. Next week's games, San Francisco at Vancouver, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and DC at New York, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch them on MLU Live. Those are the stream games of the week. Next week, be sure to follow all the action and like the MLU on Facebook.com/ML Ultimate. Stay tuned to all the action through your Waveborn sunglasses. Waveborn is a sunglass company that combines affordable fashion with a mission to have a major social impact. For each pair of sunglasses sold, Waveborn helps a person in need in one of two ways: providing a pair of subscription eyeglasses or funding a portion of vision restoring cataract surgery. Check them out, waveborn.com. And this has been Dave Bestock here with Dave Bestock. Portland Stags versus the Seattle Rainmakers here in Renton. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for all the upcoming Major League Ultimate action, and have a wonderful Saturday. Happy June.